Hello everybody, welcome back to Familia Pablanu. I am the one and only Anu.
Y yo soy Pablo, solamente Pablo.
And this is Mide, solamente Mide.
Thank you to all of you who have had patience enough to kind of watch all the way through our How We Met series, waiting for this moment, this wedding moment.
Yeah.
So here we are, we finally reached it.
So this will be the wedding party and epilogue. Everything. This is it, guys. So I hope you have that popcorn ready. Well, anyways, without further ado, let's begin.
Mama Africa, your children are home.
So we thank all of our subscribers that's been liking, sharing, and subscribing. We thank you. We appreciate you. And if you're new to our channel, welcome to Familia Pablanu. And what are you even waiting for? Have you clicked that subscribe button yet? And don't forget to click the bell button next to it so you get notifications when we post new videos. So this is the wedding day. And now let me take you guys on a visual journey of that day. So remember, and the wedding preparation, all of the preparations are happening and all that. I called. So it's this day. The day is as it was a Sunday actually, because Pablo thought I wanted to preach on that day. You'll hear more about that later. So what happened was that we woke up, all of my ladies showed up at my apartment and everyone was getting ready. I called the lady that was supposed to do my makeup and nothing. Absolutely nothing. I called. She had blocked me on WhatsApp and her phone wasn't going through anymore. I'm like, crap. She took $50 for a tutorial that was even crap. And she's not showing up on this day. She's not coming through for me. That was a bummer, you can say. So all the ladies arrived. They were doing the ones who they've already done their makeup and their hair. They have already done their dresses, and it was just me remaining. So and again, I didn't have that much money. We didn't have extra money to spend on someone that will come and decorate and do bouquets and do all of these things. It was just me and my friends who were willing to help.
Trying to remember what happened in the morning, so I don't remember a whole lot. I know we didn't do much the night before for the stag do or the bachelor party, not a whole lot, so I don't think I was hungover or anything like that. It was just woke up in the morning, was kind of alone. No one was in the apartment. I think all of the ladies stayed in the apartment with Anu, including my sister, who normally lived with me. And so yeah, I just kind of woke up alone, kind of got breakfast alone, kind of did my thing. I was waiting for my best man to show up, and it was a bit later than usual, or than I expected, I guess. Just kind of waiting for him and seeing what was going on, and turns out he and his family, they had rented a car and there was a bit of car trouble, so he had to take it to a mechanic, get things fixed. I think it was a puncture. And anyways, so he ended up showing up a bit later than expected, and I think he had said something about, yeah, we'll go get lunch, something like that together, maybe with his family or something. He seemed kind of stressed when he arrived. I wasn't really stressed. I was just kind of chill, had my suit and everything ready, and because I was going to leave the car there, my car at my apartment, and he was going to take me. I had worked out all the logistics because I had tried to get a nice limo and everything to, make the days special. And so I'd ordered this limo, specialty limo, whatever, to pick up Anu and I from the wedding. And so I was pretty excited about that. So I was having the limo go pick up Anu first, and then bring her and the ladies to the wedding venue. So what happened? The lady that came, that I usually go to her to do my hair, she showed up, she did my hair, and that was that. She did my hair, so good luck, congratulations, and she left. So I had my hair all curled and did in a certain way, and that one was ready to go. But now that my makeup person has disappointed, I'm like, what the heck? What am I supposed to do now?
So, and then at the same time, I think I sent her sister to I think it was a Kroger. It's a grocery store, to go and get the flowers that I ordered. I placed an order before, so that we can get the flowers. It's roses for the flower, as well as the one for the men, the bouquet. No, the I forgot, corsage. Anyways, you know, that one that the men will pin on them, and the one that women, the ladies also will have some as well. So she went there and she came back with this bright red flowers. Oh, I saw the red. I was like, oh, red roses. I did not order red roses. Red roses is not going to go with this mint green attires that the ladies were wearing. I want pastel colors. That's what I ordered, pastel roses. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not having red. No. She's like, it's not that bad. You can manage it. I'm like, oh, no. This is not what I paid for. This is not what I want. So I went with her. We went to that Kroger. I'm like, guys, I paid for pastel colors. Where are they? So I said, oh, sorry about that. So they scrambled up the pastel flowers, and yeah, and it was there. I was there by myself. None of my families were there. They were not invited. I have not been communicating to them for months now at this point. And it was just me, and I was going through all of these emotions in my head. But why is everything not working out the way I want it to work out? The flowers, the person supposed to do my makeup didn't show up. Now roses are red. Roses are red. No, they're pastel. I want them to be pastel.
So anyways, I was there with my friend. He seemed pretty stressed. He was talking a little bit about how stressful it was. And we managed to, we got to, let's see, the hotel where his family was at. And he and his wife, they had three little boys, I think. Two boys, and maybe pregnancy. I can't remember, but I know there was at least 2 children. So I went there. I think it was kind of a mess. They were all kind of stressed. They didn't have a whole lot of communication going on at the time, I think. So it was a bit difficult with some marital stuff. But it was so I tried to just be chill, take care of the boys, help them change, because they were toddlers and all that. So helping them change, get ready. There was some issue with food. We didn't have food, so I was kind of stressed. I think they were fighting about it, and I was just kind of like sitting there. Okay, all right, I'll wait. So finally got some food, and so we ate before going, and then when we're going, I think it was time. It was a bit late, but it was about time. We were trying to get to the venue. I think it was like an hour early or something. So, but yeah, no one had left yet. And I'm like, okay. And then even next door, one of my brothers and his family was there in the same hotel, and they also weren't ready yet. And it was like, okay. So no one was really ready yet. So I was calling like my sister, who was one of my sisters who was helping to like organize, kind of like plan the wedding a bit, like the arrangements, flowers, stuff like that. I was like, hey, you there yet? No. So and then they showed up at the hotel when we were about to leave, and I'm just like, oh. And anyways, the car situation was kind of weird. Someone had to jump in the back. And again, one of my sister's friends had come as well, and she was huge help. She was a big trooper. She just helped, get everything in the car. Anyways, we got that. We came back to the apartment. This is all happening in the morning, by the way, because the wedding was actually at I think 3 p.m., but they said we should arrive at 2 p.m. So we got the roses there, and I'm like, okay, now we have bunches of roses, long roses. Who is going to do bouquets for me? I'm like, I've seen it on Pinterest one time, but I can't do it because I have to do my makeup because my makeup person is not here. And I'm having anxiety about that. So my father-in-law, make sure everybody came. No matter if they didn't have money or not, they all had to show up. He said it's very important for the development of the church, or
for the ministry of the church. They have to be there. Anyways, they basically forced her, the immediate younger sister, to be there. Anyway, she was there, all tired had to rush to the airport, rented a vehicle from her own money, by the way, and she was forced to be there. So she was there. We saw her. Oh, hey, how are you? So we're so happy to see her. Anna is her name. And so I was like, oh, and she is a wedding planner. So she knows how to do decorations and wedding planning and all that. So I'm like, hey, are you able to do bouquets and corsages? I was like, yeah, sure, I can do it. So she did this bouquet and she did it perfectly. Like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. It was awesome. It was perfect. You see it in the photos. And I said, could you please also do 4 corsages for the men? And I counted, so who are the men? So there are 3 men, groomsmen, as well as the father of the groom. So I counted 4, right? Yeah. So I said, do 4 as well, 4 of the corsages for the men, and as well as 4 but I think I counted 3 ladies, bridesmaid, as well as the mother of the bride, right? Making 4. So I said, do 4 for men and do 4 for women. And she did that, put them together. I did the pin, did it perfect, all done well. I was like, oh, thank you so much, thank you.
We kind of moved some things. I think one of my sisters, the one who would help, organize the wedding a bit, she hadn't dressed yet. She showed up at the hotel. I was like, why didn't you bring this to the venue? I try not to be like, mean about stuff. I try to just be like chill, but I'm like, hey, shouldn't this be at the venue yet? Shouldn't this be there? Like the flowers? And she's like, yeah, just put it in your car, whatever car you're taking and go. So it was really messy. I'm trying to, the reason why I'm giving all these details is just to show how kind of haphazard it was at the time with everything. And so I'm like, okay. So we end up getting there to the venue, and a couple of us and me, I think it might have been my brother and his family, I'm not sure. And anyway, so we got to the venue and no one was there. I was like, okay. I think maybe the organist was there. But yeah, none of the family, no one else was there. And it was like, this is like an hour beforehand or 45 minutes beforehand. I was like, I'm supposed to be here. Like, audience or whatever, invitees were supposed to come at like half an hour before or 15 minutes before or something. So I was like, okay, they're about to start showing up supposedly. But yeah, everything was a bit late, and because we only had the venue for a couple of hours and there was something else after the venue. So anyways, I was just thinking about all these things. She's like, oh geez.
So she put all together. I told her to get those 4, and she did that, and she left the one with the ladies and the bouquet with me, and then she took her vehicle, went to the chapel, and started putting it on the guys.
So anyways, I came early, somewhat early, and was just like, okay, where is everyone? People finally start showing up. My family, who were supposed to be part of, the wedding. A lot of my brothers were my, what do you call it? Groomsmen or whatever. And so anyway, so they finally started showing up. We were getting set up like in the basement area, trying to get, everyone getting dressed, everyone getting ready, whatever. And yeah, my dad, who was the officiant pastor, whatever, he had his signature cowboy hat on and all that. And I'm just like, okay, that's cool, I guess. And so then my sister came with the flowers, the corsages, all that kind of stuff, and gave the women, and then handed out to the men, their little flowers and everything. And then it came to me, and there was no flowers. I was like, hey, do I get one? And she was like, no. I was like, okay, well, cool. And then it turns out, I think Anu had told her and forgot to say that, because she thought of my dad as the pastor and not as my dad, which is kind of true. and so she didn't think that he would have a flower, basically, or like a thing as the father-in-law, sort of thing. But anyway, so yeah, that's why we're missing one.
And at this time, where they were doing the corsages, they're decorating and putting things together, doing some little decorations that one of my friends brought. She did it all by herself for the reception. She did that. And I was in the closet bathroom, the downstairs bathroom. I closed the door in there. I'm like, oh crap, now I have to do my own makeup. On a regular day, of course I can do my own makeup, I'm fine. But on this day, I had so much anxiety as it is. My family member is not there. I had a lot of stress. I was a little sad, a little depressed. I'm like, okay, crap, I think I've seen how to do makeup a few times. Like, I can do this, no problem, I can do this. So I went on. I'm like, okay, I gotta do the foundation. I'm like, okay, I have to do calamine lotion. Let me apply that and then put eyebrows. I'm like, okay, crap, it doesn't look too right. I think I then applied another calamine lotion. Then I painted foundation and I painted eyebrows and I did lip and then I did all these things. And I was like, okay. I did this. I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, oh my gosh. This just seems like it's too much. I went to I went outside to see them because they were asking me, are you all right in there? I'm like, I'm fine. Half of the time I cried. I'm like, okay. Hold it together. You can do this. The limo will be here I was checking the time, in very soon. So I got out there. I asked one of my friends, so what do you think? They're like, oh, it's good, it's okay. I'm like, it's not good, is it? She's like, we don't have time, we have to go. I'm like, oh crap.
And when it came to those we invited, so Anu had said she had a lot of coworkers, like 20 something coworkers that she wanted to invite. And I was like, are you sure? And she's like, yes. Want to invite all of them. They all said they're coming, and I'm like, okay, all right, well, there's only a certain amount of space. It was a pretty small chapel, and so I was like, okay, well, all right, I'll just limit down the number of people that I invite then. And so I just invited a few coworkers, and also the chair of our department, stuff like that. But just a few, very, very few. In addition to my family and all. And Anu had invited, a lot of her coworkers, as well as a couple of friends, some old friends and some new friends from different parts. One was actually Nigerian, another was from Pakistan, and another from China. And some of them were acting as bridesmaids as well as a coworker of hers, a friend of hers as well. And so anyways, so at least the bridesmaids, we were for sure, they were going to come. But when it came to the actual day, and here I had told many people, I was like, hey, I even told one of my coworkers, I was like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't invite your family, but I can invite you, that sort of thing, because I'm like, we're not going to have space. So a lot of people I told that, I was like, hey, I have one space for you, but I'm sorry, you can't bring a +1 because there's not going to be space.
So the time was there, and the limo got there, arrived, and we all got out, and we left. Moving forward, we got in the limo, and we got to church. The limo packed us there somewhere. And again, let's go back. We were at the before rehearsal. The rehearsal dinner. We were already at the rehearsal. I and Pablo were talking about how I would come in, because my parents are not there to walk with me down the aisle. And I said, you know what, I've come this far, I want to walk down the aisle by myself. So at this point, then he told me, you know what, I will come outside and get you. I'm like, no, I want to come and walk down the aisle by myself. I can do it. But it went into one ear and came out the other ear. So, okay, this is what we're gonna do. So when this guy says, hey, your bride has arrived, so I will come outside and come and get you, and I will both walk in. I'm like, so anyways, whatever I wanted was not even. it wasn't even a question at all. What I wanted, that was not my wedding. Again, I keep saying that was not my wedding. Whatever I wanted was not in the picture at all.
So anyways, so finally it got sort of organized, and I walked up there, and I had been trying to figure out like how to kind of organize the wedding, because there's a traditional American style where, what is it, the man's up there wait, like the groom's up there waiting, and then the bride comes in, and the father of the bride takes the bride in, or sometimes the mother, or mother and father, take the bride in, and then, but because her father wasn't there, I was like, I don't know, what should we do? And kind of brainstorm some different things. But unfortunately, I didn't really listen to what Anu wanted to do, because I was like, hey, let's do something out of the box. And she was like, yeah, I mean, I was like, well, like you're outside. What if you're outside of the venue, and then like I come out and meet you, and then we go in together. And unfortunately, the way that I thought about it, again, a lot of things were taught to me, but the way I was taught was, you take it, and if you take it, it's then yours, like it's your responsibility, which is a really kind of tricky way of getting rid of responsibility. But it was, but one of the things that I was taught was like about history or according to my dad, history of marriage in Europe and stuff. And like, yeah, back in the day, the only people who ever did weddings were rich people, the nobles, and they were just doing it because they saw the royals doing it. And then it trickled down over the centuries. But the poor people, no, they would just, the men would see, the lady, or they would have get to know the lady and say, okay, take her into his home, and that's where they would consummate their marriage. And whoever was on the street seeing them go in, they were the witnesses, and that was legal. I don't know if any of that's true now that I think about it, but that was the history of marriage that I was taught. And in fact, not to give anything away, but that was something that my dad even preached at our wedding that very same day. So just reiterating that. But anyways, so that was kind of in my mind. So I was like, okay, well, I can symbolically go out and take her in, sort of a thing. And yeah, it's, now that I look back, I'm like, because Anu, I think she tried to tell me like, well, what if this is my decision, so what if I come in alone, And I was like, oh, but that's really sad, and that's really, no. So I just didn't even really listen to her. And a lot of things were going through my mind, but basically I was like, all I care about is that Anu comes. Like, that's all I care about, is that she comes. I don't care if anyone else is here, as long as she comes. And I thought that even when I came and it was empty, that's all I thought about was, as long as Anu comes, I'm okay with that.
So Pablo came to walk me in from the limo outside. And we came into the church hand in hand.
It was, when I first saw her, I was a bit shocked because of all the makeup.
I was like, how was my face?
But I did my best. I did my best to keep like my face cool and just say, you look beautiful. Because she did look beautiful. Her face just looked very different.
It was layered.
From
again,
the woman I knew.
Calamine lotion and applying the eyebrow 3 times or so. I cleaned it off and did it again. I came out like a clown. And
you asked me that too. And I was like, no, not at all.
I asked you, is the chapel full? Are there many people? Then you're like, oh, there's a few. I'm like, I didn't understand what you said until we entered. So we walked in and we're in the front. I was entering the altar. I was looking left and right. My heart sank because people didn't show up. All my coworkers didn't show up. So when we proceeded, we stayed in the front of the altar, in front of your father, the pastor. While we stayed in front, he preached for almost an hour.
It was awful. So, like I said in a previous video, I had asked my dad, like, hey, so what are you preaching about? Just because I was curious. He told me at that time, he's like, no, I can't tell you. He was really hard on me. He's like, no, I'm not going to tell you. Because that might influence, you might try to influence me. And no, I have to speak what God wants me to speak. And I'm like,
What?
okay. And if you remember, he chose the date because it was a Sunday.
Yeah, I didn't know it was an opportunity for him to preach a whole Sunday message, almost an hour long. We're standing there. Most of it we've heard over and over again.
Yeah.
But a lot of the audience, they are new. They are part of your colleague and some of my coworkers, the few that showed up. And they're hearing this for the first time.
So I still to this day don't know why he did it.
Yeah.
But basically he used that opportunity to do a full-on hour-long summary of all of the doctrines that he had been developing over the past, 10, 15 years. And he put it all together, and it took forever.
Yeah.
And he talked a little bit about Indiana law and all that kind of stuff, and how men used to just take their women and go into their houses, and that was their wedding, was that.
That's
before they had money.
animalistic, though.
Yeah, but anyways,
And
so he put it all together. I mean, he even talked about we won't go into too much detail. It's like,
Later on, one of my coworkers, the doctor, one of the doctors came to ask me, so, yeah, that was really weird. So at the wedding, he's like, wow. He didn't have much to say. Wow. So we stood there. We listened to this. After almost an hour, my shoes were so tight, they were starting to hurt. And I was just shaking on my feet.
Mine too. My toes were all squished in these shoes, pointy shoes, and yeah, we were standing there. My legs were falling asleep. My feet were falling asleep. I keep shifting, and here we were standing next to each other, sweating.
I wasn't expecting that to be that long. I thought it was just a few here and there.
And guess what? There was no nice poetic anything.
No.
It was just all this doctrine, and I'm just like, why is he doing this? And I didn't want to hear this. And as he's getting into doctrine, there's really weird stuff.
Really weird.
I just kind of did my coping mechanism, just kind of shut down, just don't listen, don't think about what other people are thinking. Because he chose a Sunday in particular.
He wanted to preach.
Maybe he just wanted to make that his preaching time.
Right, which he
and
did.
And gain converts, I don't know.
So after that, we then faced each other, remember? And we're holding hands, and he asked us to say our vows.
It's so quiet, I couldn't hear anything.
I'm glad.
And the recording you can't hear at all.
Yeah, we can
I was
hear
crying
you
too much. I couldn't even speak hardly. So it was just like
felt like a sad shindig happening. And then after that, we did that, and it says, and then your father put arms around us like, I now pronounce them Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah, doing his
hand behind like that.
Used all the authority. There was so much talking, praying, talking.
And then after that, we proceeded out. So we just we were saying, waving and looking at all the people. We just
this goes, okay, let's get out of here.
Let's go. So we proceeded, went out, and we took some photos outside, and then the congregation came to join us to take photos.
Yeah, so that was when your colleagues got to see you close up.
Oh my gosh! Heather is one of the nurses I work with at the doctor's office. So she came in. She came close. I went to greet everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. I went close to her, and she saw my face. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, I know. I look like a clown. It's okay.
And also, if you see photos of me like lifting Anu in her wedding dress and everything, it was because there was poop on the ground, human poop, from one of the children. Yeah, one of the toddlers who was there had pooped in his pants, I think, and it fell onto the ground. Anyways, so there was that people were slipping on and saying, "What is this?
What is that?" I just saw it. I thought it was a dog. And
you were trying to take photos of everyone there.
And once the photos over, they said, "Oh, goodbye." We told people, those families, and came from a long distance. Okay, we're going to do reception and so go home and change. And meet us there. We're also going home to go change to a different attire. And we'll see you guys there at the reception. That's what we told them. So we went away in the limousine. You see the footage or the photo. So that was the end of the wedding. In the limousine, I think we were like, whew, glad that's over. Woohoo!
Did I say something about let's just go? Let's just go.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Let's just leave.
yeah, let's go and just leave them there in the reception. Let them have the party without us. I'm like, we've already organized this. We have clothes and we've paid for this reception. We have to go. Let's go. And no. It was because of the dance. I was like, no, I have to do my dance with those ladies and our dance too. We've practiced this a lot, so I'm not just gonna leave. I have to dance and then we can leave. I'm like, oh, okay, we should just leave. Let's just go. I'm like, no. And so we did. And you will get to see Pablo's attire because he refused to wear the Nigerian attire, traditional attire. So he wore this ugly looking khaki pants and a button up shirt. I'm like, we're the celebrants. We're supposed to look the best.
If you haven't already, you can see why in the previous video about, what was it? Prepping for the wedding? A rehearsal?
Rehearsal.
Yeah, I think it was a rehearsal one. Yeah, you can see why that happened. And we thought it'd be us against the world.
Yeah. And your family pulled us apart, and it was us against each other too. Man, it was tough.
So we hope you've enjoyed or at least experienced this most latest episode.
But we'll catch you in the next episode. Don't forget that popcorn and as well as your friend. Let them watch it with you as well. So we'll see you in the next episode. Until next time, we say, bye. Adios.
Ciao.